What's going on? What's going on? Welcome. So we're just chilling. We're just vibing. You know, don't have a ton of energy today. I'm not feeling super great, but you know what? I'm showing up. I'm here. Because I said I'd be here. So I'm here. I'm going to do a quick little message on my Instagram right now so that I can tell people that, hey, you know, if you want to watch, check it out. I'm going to go live real fast on Instagram. Not long. Just going to let them know that if they want to tune in, that they should turn into our YouTube channel or our Facebook channel so that they can hear music. So I want to play a little music. Today I was just having a not feeling super great today. Just not feeling super great, which happens. And that's okay. But you know what? I started listening to some music and we were just jamming, you know? This I should show you the I'm gonna show you the screen. You know who got me? Homer just chilling in the car vibing. I remember this episode. I'm pretty sure he had smoked or something, and he was just vibing. And it's literally this video, the entire playlist. It's just Homer chilling and smoking. It's chilling. Just a little buzz, man. Just driving, dude. But because I wanted to listen to music this whole time, I want to push everybody to here, to either our YouTube page to watch the stream, tune in, or on our Facebook page. And it's episode 9. But I just want to chill a little bit. I feel like it's been I can't wait till I can choose my own music till we get whatever clearance is necessary or wherever we need to get to play our own music. But in the meantime, this is a good soundtrack. Just a vibing soundtrack. Oh, y'all thought I was about to rap? Nope. Let's go live real quick and to let our Facebook know. Yo. All right, so check it out. If you're tuning in on Instagram, you should pop over. You should go to the link in my bio. Go to the live stream. The very first one says share the live stream. You should go on to share the live stream so that you can watch the live stream with us because we got music playing over here. Click that link, follow. It's the same thing, same exact thing as if you were on here right now. Just go to my Instagram, go to the link tree that's in there, and the very top one says share the live stream. We're on YouTube. We're just jamming. Homer's jamming. We got some good music. You can't hear the music on Instagram. Sophia Lee, love you. What's good? Vicky, what's good? Saying what's up to y'all. But hey, pop over to the live stream. Pop over to the live stream on YouTube. Go check it in my link tree. Click share the live stream. Watch it on YouTube so you can hear the music and you can see whatever I share on my screen because we're vibing over there. All right, but that's all I got to say for the Instagram right now. Pop over to the YouTube right now. Link in my bio. Let's do it. Like I told you. So this project all started because, man, I'm a person that's built to share. I'm a person that's built to show up. I've been sharing and showing up with people for a while. Right now in this season, there's not a ton that I can do physically, unfortunately, because I have been injured, been kind of sidelined a little bit or a lot with a knee injury, and I'm just showing up. I'm showing up for people. I'm showing up at a certain time, 1:30 every day. We're just doing Share the Live Stream. It's a new show. Sometimes we call it Late Lunch. Sometimes we call it Good News and Company. But it's just good vibes, man. Good vibes. And this is all copyright free. The thing about it is I can't wait to start playing music that is not copyright free so I can choose and we can listen to some Outcasts. We can listen to some other stuff. But I think you got to be like elevated a little bit in your following to do that, which whatever. If it comes, it comes. In the meantime, right now, if you're on, you can see we're just jamming with Homer right now. That's it. It's Thursday afternoon. We're almost through the week. You guys are almost through the week. I'm having a hard time keeping track of days, but we're almost through the week. You know, if you work Monday through Friday, we're almost through the week. We're just chilling. We're just chilling. Homer's chilling. I'm chilling. You're chilling. You're here. Welcome. You know, 9 times out of 10, we kind of stumble into something to talk about. But the main thing is 1:30 every day. I promise you that I'm going to be here with good vibes. I promise you I'm going to be here no matter what. If I'm sick, I might have to stream from bed, but I'm going to be here. I'm going to show up. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. And when we have more of a chat, it's going to be great because then I can be like, hey, what do y'all want to talk to today? And so if you're here right now, what do you want to talk about? This is your time. This is your space. I'm just showing up. I don't have to have all the content all the time. What y'all want to talk about? What y'all need to talk about? In the meantime, let's turn the music up just a little bit. I hope y'all can, if you can hear it, y'all respond in the chat. Just give me a thumbs up or something that you can hear music in the chat. Because I'm new at all this, whatever. This is only day like 9. It's a chill vibes. It's chill. I can't believe it's royalty free. Someone should be getting paid for this music. It's that good. But anyways, my name is Joel. You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to tell you a story. I was thinking about this earlier. My word for the year is remember. And I think I'm going to tell y'all a story. And I'm going to tell you a story of an old Joel. The old Joel stories are the best ones, right? Because those are the ones where like, oh, that guy sucks. But I'm going to tell you a story about old Joel today. I don't know why I thought about this story today. Well, I thought about it recently, probably not that long ago. I thought about this story, I don't know, maybe a month ago. I was in a small group. And when I was in the small group, the topic came up. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. It was like, when have you seen God do miracles? Or does God do miracles today? Because this is for our alpha small group. And when when I hold on one second, let me post this quick little thing. I don't even know if it's gonna work, but let me just post it. Maybe people will tune in, right? But so we go to so we're in alpha. Alpha is a course that was started in Britain by Nikki and Pippa Gumbel, right? Is that right? Nikki Gumbel, yeah. Nikki and Pippa Gumbel. And it has been around for like 30 or 40 years. It was kind of like a Christianity or like Christianity 101 type deal. But then they started realizing that like it was able to, because it's the good news and because it's kind of like good news based, it was really like taking off in places where like the Christians weren't. All right, I'm gonna turn home. I'm gonna minimize Homer a little bit. Unless you don't want me to keep Homer up, I can. Totally, but I think I'm just gonna do this. So anyways, we were in an alpha group. And I think the question was, does God still do miracles today, right? Because you hear about them, you read about them in the Bible. And I don't know why. I had a totally different miracle to talk about. But then as I opened my mouth, I started talking about old Joel. Now, let me tell y'all a little bit about old Joel. First of all, there's a lot of old Joel that's still here, that still remains, which I used to not really be that into because I'd be like, oh, no, like that guy was just, parts of that guy were just terrible. But what I realized is that it's still all me, and it's who I was, and because it's who I was, it's partly still who I am. Except for, a lot more patience these days, and as you will tell by this story, probably like a little less violence. But I'm gonna tell you a story of old Joel, because this is the year of my word for the year are two words: broken and remember. Broken and remember are my words for the year. What are your words for the year? Put them in the chat if you want to. And or word. Most people have one word. I got two, because I started off with one word and it was broken, and I was like, God, that's BS. Like, you're gonna give me that word? I physically have been broken, so it's just like kind of like kicking a gonads. But then I realized, and I was positive that was the word. I was very sure that was the word. But anyways, God, true to His grace, was able to let me stumble across another word that it was very predominantly and also clearly His word. And the word was remember. The word for me to ponder this year is remember and broken. And one of the parts of remembering is I got to think about, like, how much of an asshole I used to be honest with you. And so I did that. And so I have been doing that. I've been thinking a lot more of just how far I've come. Like, it's important to be proud of yourself sometimes when it seems like you're in a season that you're just getting beat up, like, all the time. Like right now, for me, it's really important, I think, to remember that, like, hey, you used to be strong, used to be like, big, powerful guy lifting heavy rocks and stuff. But now it's just not that season. But you know how important it is to remember, and characteristics, personality traits, stuff like that, things that I've kind of overcome, rages that I've had that I thank God seem so far away now. This was one of those days. I was in college. Take me back. Teleport back with me to young Joel. Joel was 18 years old, just freshly 18 years old. It was the summer of 1996. And young Joel arrived at Florida State University. Now, young Joel, earlier in the summer of 1996, was born and raised in Tangelo Park. Tangelo Park in Orlando was one of two things. It was lower income, and it was predominantly black. And I grew up there, and I, was high yellow, and I learned how to fight in Tangelo because, like, it's kind of what you do. It's kind of how you meet your best friends. And then next thing you know, it's your neighborhood against everybody else, and you just fight. And then if you're high yellow, like me, high yellow is how they called me. High yellow Negro. I used to have to fight to prove myself. And then I was tall, and then I was real skinny. And so I would have to kind of prove myself a lot over and over again. So let's just say I used to fight a lot. And whether it was bullies, and there were a lot of them, I remember a few of them. I'm not going to say their names because they're probably on to bigger and better things now. But I had my bullies, fought my bullies, fought a lot of people in high school, got away with some, didn't get away with some. But anyways, young Joel came to college. I was smart. I was really smart. And I had a full ride to Florida State University. But I also had what was called the Harris Rosen Scholarship, which out of my neighborhood, he basically said anybody that wants to go to high school in this neighborhood gets to go to high school. And I did, and I ended up going to Florida State University. If it was in state, I ended up going to Florida State University on that scholarship with all expenses paid, which was incredible. But I had the grades to kind of had the grades. I was street smart and book smart. Let's put it that way. And there was one day, probably pretty early on into my time at Florida State, I met a young lady. I met a young lady at the mall. And, you know, in college, you know, everything's kind of a time warp, right? Like in college, I went from meeting her at the mall earlier that day to somehow I ended up at her apartment later that day. And then we get a phone call, and the phone call is somebody who's really pissed. And you can tell she's acting a little bit weird, maybe entertaining company. And he's like, I'm on my way over there. So let me tell you something else about Joel. Young Joel was arrogant to say the least. Because this dude came to what I would find out was his new ex-girlfriend's house, and he starts beating at the door. And young Joel is laying in bed like this. I hear the banging at the door. I said, open it up. Open up the door. And I did not move. Literally, you could have been playing this song in my ear, and this is exactly what I would have been doing. As danger would inevitably be approaching, he pushes past her, rushes in the room, sees me like this. He says some expletives like, "Who the are you?" And I'm like, "What? Who the are you? Why are you standing over me with your fist all balled up? What are you gonna do?" Well, he would proceed to start beating my butt. And as he fought me, as we fought, he fought me for the most part because I still have my hands locked behind my head like a fool. Finally, get him into a position and kick him off me, kick him into the closet. I remember it was just those cheap like college closet doors. He goes into the closet door, breaks it, shatters it, whatever it is. I finally get to my feet, and on my feet, I mean to the edge of the bed, and I'll never forget, my feet had just gotten to the ground, and I was like, "Oh, it's on!" Like I got my feet under me now. We're good, but remember, I'm still in a seated position. My feet aren't exactly under me. He jumps up out of that closet, grabs my neck, and introduces me to the windowsill. And that's where that scar comes from. So I hit the windowsill. Thank God I had caught the wall to push me a little bit to my right. And I caught the wall and I pushed off the wall. So I hit the windowsill because he was trying to throw me out the window. There was a window there. I caught the windowsill, the concrete windowsill. He was literally trying to push me out the window. I think we were on the 6th floor. I think she was on the 6th floor that day in the dormitorium. And so anyways, I mean, I was clearly bleeding all over the place. I grabbed my head. I saw there's blood all over the place. I could feel it start to run down my back of my neck. And I was like, and you know what I was pissed about? This is old Joel. Old Joel's priorities. I was pissed that I was bleeding on my shirt because I was senior class president and I had helped design that shirt. And the shirt that I had on was my high school shirt. And I was pissed that I was bleeding all over my shirt. So, I mean, not just that I was bleeding, but I was bleeding all over my shirt. So I went to chase this dude. And as I chased this dude, now cops are involved. He went down one set of stairs. So I knew that if I went down a different set of stairs, I could catch him. I thought I could catch him. But what ended up happening is the cops caught me because they had been called as soon as the scuffle kicked off. And we were on campus. So it didn't take campus security to get over there quick. Walk me back to the room. And this is probably the part of the story that I'm probably the least proud of right now. it's probably the part that I'm the least proud of. I was talking about what I kept saying to them, hurry up, I got something to do. Hurry up and stitch me up. I got something to do. And I thought in my mind, I thought they were paramedics, but they were cops. And I was talking about the fact that I was gonna kill this dude. And I kept saying it. It was, I'm gonna kill this dude, blah 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 blah. I can't, whatever. And you have to understand, like, where I come from, whatever it is. There's certain things that when they happen, they can escalate fast. But like the only thing that sometimes to do is to ultimately retaliate. And I was in that ultimately retaliate mode, and I don't even know why I'm sharing this story right now. This started to feel like, the ending is great, but it breaks my heart because I can feel the connection to so many people that have this story and that don't have the end of the story that I have, or didn't have the intervention that I would end up having, because obviously I didn't kill anybody and obviously I didn't go after him. But what you have to understand is this part of the story is this part of the story that becomes heartbreaking for so many of our young men in our communities. This is the part where I don't know, and I don't know why God intervened the way He would intervene. And I'm spoiling the end of the story, but I don't really care, because this is the part that when I say it out loud, I can hear other people saying it out loud. I can hear other young men saying that they're going to answer the injustice that's been put on them with bullets and with guns. I can feel it. And I know that a lot of people have not felt that. I know that it's not normal to ever have in your mind or in your body the feeling that you want to kill somebody. And I've had it a few times. And I can't exactly put my finger on it, but it breaks my heart that there's a rage that is allowed to there's a fire that's allowed to burn. And who's putting out the fire? Who's putting out the fire? I know who put out my fire. I know who helped me put out the fire. And I'll finish telling that part of the story. But anyways, it just I think that, why I think it's feels weird to me talking about it from this particular platform. Which, thank you God that it's not even a platform right now. Like, I'm just happy that like no one's listening, no one's watching right now. 0 people are watching right now, and I'm okay with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with it because I feel like the majority of what has happened in these 9 days with this show is that God's teaching me to consistently show up, and it's almost like being in counsel with Him, with the Holy Spirit during this time, and like kind of listening to what it is that comes out of my mouth, as if I get to listen to it sometimes too and process it, because I've told this story 100 times and my heart hasn't broken the way that it just broke in that particular way, and paying attention that particular way to how this story could have changed my whole life, and how the story does change people's whole lives, because they don't have a series of options to viably work through. And the way that my story goes, I go to the hospital. Well, first of all, I almost get into a fight with the cops, because the cops are not moving fast enough. I didn't know they were cops. I was so blinded by anger. I didn't really realize that they were cops. I thought they were paramedics. And I remember saying over and over and over that I was going to kill this dude. And the cops cleared everybody out of the room one point. And he said, "Mr. Barnes, do you realize what you're saying?" And I'm talking about like as if the devil himself was inside of me. I looked at that man and I swore him up and down. And I said, "If you don't get the F out of my way, you're next." And I was like possessed. I was possessed by rage. I was embarrassed. My arrogance had blown up in my face. My feelings were hurt. Now that I understand the things that I was processing, I was mortified by myself. I was mortified by myself, by my own arrogance, by my own actions, that if my actions hadn't happened, I wouldn't have seen myself in that situation anyway. And I said to this guy, get out of my face. I've got things to do. He said, Mr. Barnes, do you realize if anything happens to that young man tonight, you have admitted to it. And what that means is it is first degree. You have thought about it in advance, and you have made your intentions known to police officers. And I looked at him, I'm like, you're not a police officer. And I was like, damn it, he has a gun. He has a gun. He's a police officer. And so anyways, whatever. You're a cop. I mean, still not thinking clear. I go to the hospital and I get there, and the paramedic had ended up coming, and they had wrapped my head up and gauze and bandages. And I went to the hospital. And when I went to the hospital, I walked in the door and I walked straight to the triage nurse. And I said, I need you to take care of me right now. I have things to do. Like, I mean, I'm 6'5", a little bit more pounds, but I was still 6'5", 200 pounds at the time, and 225 maybe, and like intimidating. Let's put it that way. And she was like, sir, you need to take a seat. Like there's other people in front of you. And I turned and I ripped off the bandage off my head, and I showed her my scar. I said, is anyone's skull open? And she says, oh my gosh. And then they get me right back. And then when I go back, by that point, I had torn off my shirt. What a crazy human being I used to be. I had torn my shirt off of my body because I was so pissed that it got ruined by blood everywhere. And I go and I get put on the table, and the nurse comes in, and I don't know if you've ever had a head injury. They have to shave it around. And so when they shaved it, I just got next level pissed. And I was so mean to everybody that was there. I was just, hurry F up. I have things to do. And the cop comes in and he's like, hey, Mr. Barnes, how you doing? I was like, Doc, I don't got time for all that shit. Just patch me up. I got things to do. You know what I'm saying? Just hurry up. And he got rattled, and I remember he left the room, and then the nurse came back, and I think that's when they shaved me. And then they pour all this liquid through this gash in my head to cleanse it out and all that kind of stuff. And then the doctor comes, and then everyone leaves the room. I will never forget this. Everyone leaves the room. There's no one in the room. I'm in the surgery room. I'm on this steel table. I don't know why I was on a steel table. Like, why didn't they give me sheets? Anyways, I'm on the steel table, no shirt, and I'm freezing, and I'm so mad, and I'm freezing, and I'll never forget. I'm sitting there freezing, and I'm so mad, and I just feel someone take a blanket, like if a blanket was in their hands this way, and lay it over the end of my feet. And my feet were warm, and then they rolled the blanket up over my shins, and up over the back of my legs, up over my quads, up over my backside, up over my back, and over my shoulders. And I felt it like this warmth. It was like it was like if you were squeezing a tube of toothpaste. This warmth was covering me from the bottom out, but at the same time, it was like anger was leaving my body. It was like this anger that had consumed me, that had taken over, had been rolled out of my body like a tube of toothpaste. And I remember by the time it got to here, it was gone. By the time it got to my shoulders, and then I felt the warmth around my neck, that it was gone. I remember it feeling like just bliss, just warmth, and the anger had left, and it was like I came to. It was like I arrived, and when I arrived and I looked around, I was like, oh my gosh, you've been so mean to these people that are here and they're just trying to help you. And so I'm sitting there and the doctor comes back in. And when the doctor comes in, he's like nervous. I remember he had like this tray that he was putting down. And I remember seeing his hand shaking because he was so scared of me. And I looked at him and I'm like, yo, hey, I'm so sorry for the way I treated you. I'm just in a lot of pain right now. And I'm so sorry. You just do the best job you can, man. That's it. And you could feel the nervousness leave the room. You could feel the nurse that I had snapped at. She was more comfortable. And I think he did a fantastic job stitching me up, whatever it is. That's just a bonus part of the story. I mean, this dude could have stitched me up like Frankenstein. By the way, I treated him. But it hit just... And I'm sorry. I don't know how I forgot to say this part. There was no one in the room, and there was no blanket. I was still on the table, half naked. I was still scared, but all of it just got pushed out of me. It was like literally God himself showed up in that room and put a blanket around my shoulders and took all the anger out of me. And I'll never forget that. You know what? I pray that I remember this story more often, because it's stories like this when I know that I am in, let me tell you something. I have never hopefully I've definitely beat some people up since then. I mean, for sure. I used to run nightclubs and they used to have to remind me that I wasn't security. But never before, never since that day have I had the anger that was inside of me that day. I've never had that particular anger inside of me, that like killer inside of me since that day. And I come out and so when I went to college, a lot of my boys went to college, like either at Florida State or at FAMU, which is right across the street. So it was literally like, while I was on my way to the hospital, I was calling people to get their guns, get guns, meet me at the hospital. We got to go hunt this boy. And so when I leave, I'll walk out. I'll never forget this. And I bet, and it'll be interesting to hear. One of my best friends at the time, he had gone to college in the same city as me, and he was there. And I came out and I was like, we're going to let God handle it. You should have seen my boys' faces. Probably like 5 or 6 guys, 7 or 8 guys had shown up at the hospital because we were going to go hunting that day. Because these things, you don't get away with this. You don't get to put your hands on one of us and get away with it. That was part of it. That was part of the ethics, the code. Like, you don't touch one of us and get away with it. Even though I was in the wrong. I was in the wrong. I mean, here's the thing. Like, they had technically been broken up for a couple of days, but if I hadn't been sleeping around, you know what I'm saying, in the first place, I was in the wrong. Sleeping with people that I just met the first day? I was in the wrong. I was the one that did it. I was the one that put myself in that situation. I don't know this person from anybody. Who knew that her ex-boyfriend was a football player at Florida State? I didn't know. I know now. I knew then. And so when I had a chance to step away from that situation, to go through that situation and then say, you know what, we're going to let God deal with this. It blew people's minds that we were just going to let this dude get away with it. And we did. We did. We didn't take anything. We didn't do anything. the dude ended up getting kicked out of school, ended up losing a bunch of scholarships, got kicked off the football team, ended up having to pay me money, pay me restitution. You know, like, it was wild. And things that I never could have imagined. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know you could get your ass beat and then get paid for it. I mean, you know, and then because someone did you wrong, like, you get actually. And for me, a couple $100, I'm thinking it was a couple $100 here and there and a few payments. That was a ton of money to a college kid. I was bought pizza for everybody. But the moral of the story, the point of the story, and I don't even know, again, God, thank you so much for just letting me remember and putting things in my mind so that I can remember and I can share them and I can record them, because I don't want to forget these stories. I think it's there's so much to the story. People don't understand how situations escalate. I understand how situations escalate because I've been in the situations. I've been at school. I've been in the situations. I got another story where another miracle, a simple, quick story. We got into a fight at Florida State. I ran after these guys. I ran after 8 dudes because they were fighting one of my friends. So one of my friends was fighting one person. I ran after 8 dudes, 7 dudes. I knocked out 3 of the guys, and then they went and got a gun. And when they went and got a gun, they came back and they fired the gun in my face. Fired the weapon and it misfired. And at the same time, before he had a chance to get another shot off, the cops came into the neighborhood. You literally saw the cop, the cop pull up because we had thrown this massive party, and the cops went into the left. They went into the wrong gate, which is where I physically was, because I had run across the complex to get to this fight. They went into the wrong gate to bust my party. My party was on the right gate. They came through the left gate. I ended up being at the left gate in this situation with this person who went and got a gun to blow my head off. And I need to remember those times. I need to remember while I'm sitting here today, like, yo, I don't want to do nothing but lay in bed because I feel terrible. My head, I can hear right now. I can feel my heartbeat in my head. I can feel it. I can hear it. I can hear my heartbeat. My head is hurting so bad right now. Right now, my hip, it feels like there's a knife inside the ball of my hip, stabbing my leg that's connected to my knee, and I can feel my knee swelling up. And you know what I needed to do today? I needed to remember how many times God has saved my life. And that's what I needed to do today. And so I started a project 9 days ago for today, for the memory of today. And that's what we need to do. We need to remember. Because if we just spend a little bit more time remembering, bookmarking the amount of things God has done, and it doesn't have to be as drastic as you didn't kill somebody that you thought you were going to kill, or that you didn't get your head blown off. If you think hard enough about it, you can think back to many times God steered your path to the left a couple of degrees, and if you had stayed on that course, you would have been in that car accident. There's too many times there's so many times. I can't wait to get to heaven to figure out how many disasters we avoided. How many times I said, where's my wallet? I need my wallet. Why can't I find my wallet? I'm so pissed about not being able to find my wallet. And God knew that if I didn't spend 5 more seconds, 2 more minutes looking for this wallet, I was going to be in a catastrophic car accident. I can't wait to get to heaven and hear him tell me all these stories about the times that he was there and I had no idea. And so I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the opportunity to remember. I'm thankful for the opportunity to vibe out to some good jams. I can't wait till we can get to, a system where we can like do a little bit more streaming and fun stuff with music, play some games, and just be a community together. I can't wait to keep building this space where we can remember how good God is, where we can talk about how good God is with each other, how many times we can, because you know what? We got to test it. Maybe Testimony Tuesday. Maybe on Tuesdays we do it where we just hear crazy stories like that, like I just told y'all. Because you know what, man, there's something that's special when you get to witness, when you get to see, when you get to hear about how good God is or how he's showing up, even if it's in someone else's life. And guess what? Sometimes you're in a situation where you don't want to hear it. I don't feel like hearing it. I didn't feel like getting out. I wanted to go back to bed. I'm going to go back to bed in a few minutes just because of the way I feel. But I'm going to go back to bed knowing that I have accomplished what God had me on this earth today to accomplish, which was just to share. A story. I said just vibing. Man, I got to change that title quick. I got to change, because we are just vibing, but man, I got to change that story. I got to change it. I got to change that title to a little bit more than just vibing. Anyways, as we are not just vibing, as we are testifying, that's what we are doing. We are testifying. We are boldly saying that God is in control. I know he's in control because I got a story about when I should have got my ass kicked further. I should have been killed, or I should have done something that would have landed me in jail forever. But I don't have that story because I believe that God has had his hand on my life for a long time and protected me from myself the same way he's protected you from yourself, the same way that he's walking with you through the thing that you may or may not be able to understand right now. I believe that we are not alone, that I am not alone, that you are not alone, that we have a purpose on this earth, and that we are needed on this earth. That you are needed on this earth, that someone needs you on this earth to tell your story, to be the person that you are, to smile at them when they're in the middle of a dark day, to whatever it is that God has for you and your purpose. I believe that you belong. I believe that you are needed. I believe that you are necessary. I believe that you are part of this puzzle that God has put together in this earth. And we would not be the same without you. And that's what I believe. And I am committed to showing up every day, 1:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and sharing stories like that. And I hope to hear other people's stories. And I hope to hear other people's testimonies, because it'll be endless. We'll never stop the show, ever, if all we do is remember how good God is and talk about it and share it. We'll never run out of stories. That's how good he is. We'll never run out of stories. Anyways, I'm sweating right now. Understand? I'm sweating right now, y'all. Like, what? I didn't know all that was going to come out. I didn't know all that was going to come out. I had no idea. But hey, here's some chill vibes, y'all. Hey. All right, check it out. If you're here, or if you hear this message, do me a favor. Go to @joeldavidbarnes on Instagram. Click the Linktree thing. Follow the podcast. You can donate now to the show on there. What? You can donate to the work that we're going to do? Because here's the thing. I'm not doing nothing else. Listen to the words I'm saying. I am committed. I am trusting that God's going to provide for my family, for my immediate family, my extended family, and beyond through projects like this. Through this. And I believe that we're going to have so much that we're going to be able to share. So much. with so many people. We're going to be able to get out there and start doing work eventually, guys. We're going to start getting out there. I can't wait for Share the Flowers, because we're going to start giving flowers out to neighborhood kids, to give to their moms. I can't wait. I can't wait for us to start featuring other nonprofits so that we could share our voice to lift others, to resource people who resource people. And I want you to be part of it. I want to. God's been very specific. Like, invite everyone into starting this ministry with you. You're invited into this work. It's gonna be a good news and community. Period. All the time. That's what we're gonna do. And it's not all gonna be like, rainbows and butterflies. We're gonna go through our hard times with each other. We're gonna build this community to be able to say, hey, yo, I'm a single parent and I need to talk to single parents. I'm a businessman and I need to talk to businessmen. Whatever it is, we're gonna. I think the sky's the limit when we start sharing what we have. The sky's the limit, and I feel like I should stop talking. Look, the camera started slipping. Yeah, it's time to go. All right, that's it. I'm done. I'm out of here. Yo, don't forget to share. Don't forget to share. You got enough. We got enough. God's going to provide anything and everything we need. That's how I found you. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I'm excited about it. Thank you, God, for helping me with my headache today. For saying that despite the way that I feel, despite the pain, despite the headache, despite the leg pain, despite the butt pain, to be honest, in my left butt cheek, that you want me to talk, you want me to just go off, however you want me to go off. And I pray, Lord, that this is all a dedication to you, that you hear this and you're just like, yo, yes, son. Yes, son. Do that, son. I just wanted to make you smile. I don't care if there's a human being in the world. I always say that I want it to be one. And I do want there to be at least one, but Lord, I the one that I want to be the most proud of me is you. The one that I want to smile at the project is you. The one that I want to please with the project is you. Lord, I want to thank you for answering our prayers yesterday. For my friend in that legal situation. Thank you for answering our prayers. We had like 40 people plus praying for the outcome of that legal situation. You showed up, dropped all charges, and we thank you. And let that situation be a situation that goes on to bless so many other people in communities around the world, or in that community specifically right now, and then hopefully future stuff in the world. We thank you for showing up when we ask you to. We thank you for your timing, even if we don't understand it. Even if I don't understand why I'm not getting out of pain right now, Lord, I trust you. I promise. I trust you. I promise. Thank you. Bless it. Bless anyone listening. Bless the project. In Jesus' name. Amen. That's it. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Completely unexpected show. Now I wish I left the Instagram on completely. I thought we were just gonna hang out and vibe a little bit, and God showed up and gave us a word, gave us a reminder, something to remember. And I just feel so blessed to be able to participate in it at all. That's it. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to share. We have enough.